today's scriptures. Today's first reading comes from the Acts of the Apostles, which is the Gospel of Luke, part 2. And in the Acts of the Apostles, see how it is that Peter, a Jew, is with Cornelius, a Gentile. And when the Spirit comes down, does the Spirit just come down on the Jews? No, it comes down on everyone. And so we find Peter remarking in the fourth line, "In truth I see that God shows no partiality. Rather, in every nation, all who fear the Lord are acceptable to God." Whether you're Jew or Gentile, man or woman, slave or free, says St. Paul in his letter to the Galatians, chapter 3, verse 28, all of us are God's children. That's today's first reading, and so Peter ends up baptizing all of the Gentiles because they received the Spirit just like anyone else. They received the Spirit, and then Peter baptized them. In today's second reading, again, we have a reading from John's first letter. We know that there are 3 letters of St. John in the Bible. Today we have a reading from the first letter of John, where he says, we need to love one another. Why? Because love comes from God, and because God is what? Love. What is God? God is love. And all who live in love live in God. God is love. That's today's second reading. And then today's gospel, we'll have to listen carefully when the deacons proclaim today's gospel, because in today's gospel, Jesus says, in the same way that the Father loves me, I love you. So what's the challenge now? In the same way that Christ loves us, we should love one another. Christ loved us so much, he laid down his life for us. What are we called to do? To love one another and to lay down our lives for one another. Isn't that what mothers do in the many sacrifices they made? All those months of carrying us in their wombs, all those months of nursing us and changing our diapers and staying with us when we cried in the middle of the night, all those sacrifices. That's that love that we celebrate as we look at today's readings.